Now, before we start the video, if you guys aren't aware by now, which you should be, of course, we have finally marked the unofficial start of summer. And what does that mean? That means barbecues, grilling, outdoor parties, entertainment, and the like. And what better way to do that is by using the Watkins Gourmet food brand, especially their newest line, Yellowstone. Yes, Yellowstone. If you guys aren't aware what Yellowstone is, it is or was, I'm not sure if that TV show is still on the air or not. It used to star Kevin Costner, who unfortunately no longer is part of the show, but that's besides the point. What is the point is that Paramount linked with this 150 plus year old company to create their own lines of seasonings and spices, especially the grilling types that's of course good for barbecues. So whether you're trying to entertain your family or your friends or have a big old party, you name it, please choose Watkins Incorporated alongside with the Yellowstone food lines that's now a part of it. Also, I want to add, for all you Barbie lovers, yes, they have now their own line of sprinkles. So if you're making your desserts, cakes, ice cream concoctions, whatever, yes, let Barbie be at the forefront. Again, we are now in barbecue season. Let's get those grillings set ablaze with Watkins and Barbie alongside Yellowstone. And tell them, and when you're ordering, tell them that Celebrity Style Magazine sent you. So with that being said, y'all, let's move on to our video. Porsha Stewart, aka Porsha Guobadia, aka Porsha Williams, the failed gold digger. Mm, 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 mm. Let's discuss, y'all. Why, hello, everyone. Welcome to Celebrity Style Magazine, the latest in news, gossip, entertainment, and the latest celebrity tea. So, you see the title, you see my thumbnail, and it may rub some of you ladies the wrong way. I'm sorry, but it has to be said. Porsha Williams turned out to be the biggest failed gold digger on reality television. You had to think about those words. Yes. So if some of you who do not know, of course all of you are well aware, Porsha Williams is the reality star. Should I call her a star? Reality personality. That even sounded worse. But anywho, let's move on. Okay, Porsha debuted on Real Housewives. Excuse me, respect here. I want to give some respect to the woman. A little bit, that is. Porsha Diane Williams. I think she's named after her mama. Allegedly, she's also a gold digger as well. I don't know, that's for another video. But Porsha Williams debuted on Real Housewives of Atlanta back in 2012. Now, I didn't even realize it's been that long since she's been on this show. Now, real quick, let me just point out, I really wasn't watching all of Real Housewives of Atlanta when she was on there, simply because I just lost interest. You know, it wasn't really enjoyable to watch anymore. They just kept bringing in new women. Even when NeNe was on there, I kind of watched a little bit, but then I kind of fell off because to me it wasn't an enjoyable show to watch. Unfortunately, as you all know, NeNe's no longer on the show. Whether we like it or not, this woman did carry that franchise. But enough of me rambling. I am just going to start at where Porsha was at when she quote unquote fell in love with her now estranged husband. No, I should take it back to when she started seeing Dennis. And even at that time, I wasn't really watching it because, again, I it, Real House of Atlanta didn't, fascinate me anymore at all. It was just a reality show that I just stopped watching. But going back to what I was saying, let's start up to when she was dating Dennis. All right. I don't know how long her and Dennis dated. I'm assuming, I guess it was for a year or two, because apparently within 3 to 5 months within the relationship, she found herself pregnant with his child. So she moved in pretty quickly. She didn't marry him, but she had a baby with him. Okay, cool. Whatever. Cute little girl, Pilar. Also, I forgot, she even did a little mini spin-off called Porsha is Having a Baby. I'm gonna probably insert the caption or the picture of that show. I'm not gonna play any clips, of course. It's copyright, Bravo shit, whatever. I'm not trying to get myself in trouble. So her and Dennis, who does really well himself, I'm assuming he does really well himself. He's supposed to have money. He got it going on. He's the hot dog guy. Again, moving on. Yeah, so she has a baby with Dennis. Things are going great until some type of cheating thing goes on with him. If you watch Tasha K, and at the time when that news broke out, according to her, this man was into some freaky shit. I don't know. I'm not repeating. If you want to know, you have to go dig in the crates and Tasha K's channel and go finding it. But yeah, there was cheating on his side. But come to find out later on, there was also cheating on her side as well. Okay, so her and Dennis break up, right? It's a done deal. She doesn't no longer want to be with this man anymore until she spotted Simon Guobadia. Now, I want to move this along because I want to get to the meat of what I want to talk about. Yeah, so this is how I think what she did to get close to this African here. Now, it was stated that her and Fallon Fallon, now I don't know what she's going by now, because Fallon apparently, she's remarried and move on to the guy she had a baby with, to this same man who said that she was a groomer, which I thought was weird. But now they're happily married. Okay, that's cool. But the former Mrs. Guobadia, Fallon, I think what Porsha did was she pretended to be this woman's friend. Shoot, she probably even liked this woman. But y'all know how the story went. They had like a pool party of sorts, or was a pool party, outdoor dinner. Well, Fallon and her then husband were entertaining in their yard. And let me just say, Fallon's a very pretty woman, and she seemed as if she was very happy with Simon at the time. So my thing is, Porsha saw, all of you who come across this video should agree that when Porsha seen this house, see how big and grandiose it was, and saw when Fallon showed off her ring, because apparently Simon was going to upgrade her ring, that's when the dollar signs start swirling around her itty bitty little head. Okay, she dropped this zero, which is Dennis. I'm sorry for the little noise there, people. Sorry for the noise. She dropped that zero, which is Dennis, and she saw a hero/meal ticket, which was Simon Guobadia. Now let me get this out the way. I don't want to sound shallow or mean or insensitive, whatever, but I'll put it this way. Simon Guobadia, comparing Simon Guobadia to Dennis McKinley. I'm sorry, I have to go with Dennis. And as far as looks is concerned, because Simon Guobadia, in my humblest opinion, is not very aesthetically pleasing. Did Porsha find this man aesthetically pleasing? I don't know. I'm going to say no. I mean, I don't even think she liked this man. I feel that she pretended to like the man. But moving along, so she sees this house and she sees how Fallon is living. Fallon is living the no trife life, the kept wife, the provided for wife, or whatever that saying is. Okay? And then before we even realize what's going on, before any of us can realize what's going on, Simon and Porsha are now together and dating. Okay, if you guys hear like cars passing by, my window's open. It's a little warm out here in good old New York, / a little bipolar at times. But yeah, so you have a car passing by, my window's open. I'm sorry, folks. It's a little warm. But anywho, not only is her and Simon together dating, but within a month, these two geniuses were engaged. Completely laughable. If you guys think that this was love, then I'm sadly mistaken. Now, I'm going to insert some audio clippings of their statements on Instagram, which I had to dig up and find, because we have to get the backdrop on what these two geniuses said in the beginning about finding each other and finding love, quote unquote. Okay, I'm going to pull that up right now, and you guys take a good listen to the bullshit.
Our relationship began a month ago. Yes, we are crazy in love. I know it's fast, but we are living life each day to its fullest. I choose happiness every morning and every night, tuning out all negative energy and only focused on positive wishes. He makes me so happy, and to me, that is what matters most. For all of you that need facts, I get the optics, but Simon filed for divorce from a previous marriage in January. I had nothing to do with their divorce filing. That's between the two of them. Fallon and I are not friends, and Simon's divorce has been settled. Our relationship is positive, loving step forward in everybody's lives. Simon and Dennis are committed to being respectful and supportive of my happiness in this situation, as well as being the best co-parents they can be to baby PJ. Two Black men stepping up and being amazing people. Let's praise them. It's truly a beautiful moment in my life, and we cannot wait to spend the rest of our lives together. XOXOP, #LoveWins. And also made an announcement on Instagram. Guess what, guys? Porsha is engaged.
Now, moving along to wrap this up, when I first heard these statements, I had to gag. Because we have Porsha on one side that's saying, "Oh, love wins," and this, that, and third, yada yada yada, and then you have Simon with his corny ass statements saying that they did the work. What work? Oh, work in sleeping with each other when you saw this pretty woman come on to you? Because according to Porsha, and I don't think Fallon was cheating. She probably, when she saw everything was going downhill between her and Simon and seeing who the real cause of the demise of their marriage was, she said, screw it. I'm just going to move on, do my own thing. I don't care what no one says. I think that whole cheating thing was just a ploy to distance himself away from her to get with Porsha. And I don't know what Porsha did. She probably had her sweet manipulative or sneaky manipulative evil ways and was able to slide in his DMs and show quote unquote support. I'm sorry, but I don't know who these two people think that they were fooling, but they weren't fooling nobody. And we all know what the deal was when this woman eventually hooked up with this man. Okay, let's move this forward. They took a while. Oh, before I even go on to that, I want to talk about another reality spinoff that she did called Porsha Family Matters. Or it was Family, I think it's Porsha Family Matters. All I know is that I unfortunately watched that shit because that's what it was. It was some bullshit. She got together with people that I don't think she knew all too well. Well, these were supposedly her family members who she didn't know too well, or either or didn't like her. And what made this even more dumb is, why did you want Dennis on this show? Number two, why would you invite your baby daddy that you no longer with on your what was it? Was it a pre-engagement thingy with your then estranged husband? I didn't get that whole makeup. I didn't get that, especially the part with Dennis being there, Dennis and his mother. I didn't get that at all. That was just control and manipulation. And then to say this man couldn't bring a date with him. Again, insulting. What was also dumb, it was, I think Dennis gave her, I think it was a Louis, was it a Louis? No, it was a Versace robe. She didn't want to give that up. Again, didn't make any sense. And the part of that whole reality show, which I regret watching, well, thankfully I didn't watch until the end because that was a big blow up altogether. But before we get to the blow up, you have a fight in Mexico. You're trying to fight his mother, trying to fight Dennis's mom. The whole thing was just ridiculous. And it also shows that Porsha has a temper and that she can be very violent at times. Throwing punches, throwing plates. The part that killed me was when she got the microphone stand and tried to, I think she was trying to get at his mom. And then crying at the end of these boo-hoo, crocodile, what have you, and saying, oh, they're trying to attack my family. A family that doesn't know you or doesn't like you. Now, if I'm incorrect, y'all could, anyone who comes across this could correct me below. That's cool, no problem. But that was a whole mess. And then the next day act as if there was nothing wrong with what you just did. Because towards the end of that chaotic scene, you want him in a Mexican prison. We're talking about your baby daddy here. Okay, let's fast forward. Okay, at the end, this is the part that got me. She's talking about, basically in a nutshell, she wanted to keep their daughter away from him so it could be just her, Simon, and Pilar. I'm assuming if you watch, if you have, I think YouTube TV has, because I have YouTube TV now, no longer have cable. You could probably just type it up and probably see this train wreck of a show. But this is the other thing that Porsha didn't think out. You want Simon to be a family with a child that's not even his. That was another big failure in her gold digging ways with this man. Okay, let's move on from that, because at the end, she was trying to keep Dennis from his daughter, and they had a big old argument in a restaurant, and she thought she could get away with that shit. You know, take it for what it is. So moving on, her and Simon get married happily ever after, right? Wrong. Okay, well, before it went all wrong, it was stated that, and yeah, you can see now, she's on the show, that she was making a grand return to the Housewives show after her exit in 24. And we know the reason why she was exiting in 2024, because she didn't want Kenya to come after her, particularly Kenya. And we'll discuss Kenya a little bit later on in this video, just a little bit. The other ladies, on how she really got this man. She didn't want to admit to the truth on how she really got her. Well, as you could see now, well, then they were happily married. What, 6 ceremonies? I think one of them being in Nigeria. Okay, she looked gorgeous. Okay, he looked cute. Yes, and I said cute. In his fake ass army tux, whatever. There was no mention of this man serving any military whatever in his home country. So I didn't get that. So, happily married, happily ever after, right? Well, wrong, because we all know how that situation ended. Okay, let's fast forward some more now. We're in 2025. Simon and Porsha Guobadia was supposed to make their grand return to the Real Housewives of Atlanta franchise, with Porsha making an announcement, as you saw, of her coming back as Porsha Williams. No, that's false. It's Porsha Guobadia. And that was that. And within 24 hours, that all changed, because it's no longer Porsha Guobadia in the building. Oh, another thing, folks, if you guys hear a lawnmower going on outside, I'm sorry. It's a little warm in here and my window's open, so please bear with me. Okay, so yes, so she made the announcement. Porsha Guobadia is back. It was back in the was in the building. Well, within 24 hours or less than 24 hours, it was announced that she was divorcing this man. Why, gee, what had happened? Okay, what had happened was ice. And I'm starting to lean closer to her notifying these people about his situation with him being legal here in the good old US of A. I'm not going into all that. If you guys want to know, you guys could, of course, look into any other YouTube video in regards to that matter. But apparently Simon Guobadia isn't legal here in the US. He has some issues with his visa. At one point, he's trying to sue the immigration and internalization immigration services. I'm sorry, I have to look up what the name is. Forgive me, but he was trying to sue immigration for his status. Porsha, and concerned for herself and I guess the safety of her child, she thought it was best that she separate from this guy because of certain issues. I'm not sure if that was completely the case, because wasn't there a rumor that Simon Guobadia really didn't have money like that, and his money was kind of funny? I'm leaning towards that, and I'm quite certain Porsha caught wind of something that was going on with this man and his supposed businesses. Basically, in a nutshell, I guess she found that not only was he had trouble with immigration, but he wasn't really big balling like that, and she wasn't going to actually live that lifestyle. So what did she have to do? In my gut, I think that this woman, finding out what his status was here in the US, I wouldn't be surprised if she went in on the sneak tip, contacted ICE one way or the other, and find out what his status was. And the status was to get rid of him, divorce him, possibly get him deported and take his house. Yes, that big old mansion that she was lusting after, a mansion that she refuses to leave. I don't know. Like what Kenya, well, I don't want to say Kenya, but for me, from watching all of this, was her doing all of this even worth it? Because now she's divorcing, according to the streets, which I do believe, she doesn't have money like that. She's going around, oh, well, I'll save that for another video, but she doesn't have any money. She started up a YouTube channel. I'm not checking for it. After watching one video from another YouTube's channel, after keeping wind of what the content was like, because she said she's gonna spill the tea on Housewives, and FYI, she's not spilling really nothing much of nothing. And from what I've seen, because I have to binge watch the rest of this show, she's not saying much of anything. No, she's acting as if all is well. I mean, divorces happen and she's moving on. She can't discuss anything. No, she doesn't want to talk about anything because she doesn't want to be found out about her gold digging ways on how she even got this man. You know, I'm sorry. Again, Porsha Williams is a failed gold digger who pretty much fell on her face because nothing is going her way. She has to move out of that home that she refused to get out of. She realized that Simon isn't legal here in the US and he may not have all this money that he proclaims to have. She found out that she's not going to live this lifestyle. So now she's trying to save face and put on a brave face and think as if she's not bothered by this. I'm sorry, but in her case, just going after a man, after his money so you don't have to work, so you can live off of what he got and live the high life, that may not happen. And of course, in this case, it didn't happen. So now she's out here looking dumb. Now, I don't want to say any more on this because I may make this to a series, Real Housewives of Atlanta series, because if you guys have been watching, the show really isn't all that good. And word on the curb is now, seeing that Porsha not saying shit, she's allegedly fired from the show. Again, I'll do some update videos on that. But yeah, I just want to point out this woman's flaws and say that she really wasn't all that and a bag of chips. Now, before I outwind myself, let me pause here and give my conclusion to this commentary. Okay, so to sum this up, yes, Porsha Stewart, aka Porsha Guobadia, aka Porsha Williams, is a failed gold digger who really needs to figure out her life and what she's doing. Now, as I said, there is a rumor, or I don't know if it's a rumor or not, that she may be fired from the show. Fired or not fired, they just need to get rid of her because she wasn't bringing nothing. She just showed that, her gold digging has failed, and she's trying to one up on everybody, think it didn't affect her, or it's not bothering her. But I'm sorry. It has to be bothering you because you put yourself out on Front Street thinking that you upped one on another woman's husband. I'm sorry, she stole, or she slyly was able to manipulate her way into this man's life. Okay? She pretended to be friendly with the woman and my thing is, did she even know Fallon that well? That's the one question we have to ask. Did she even know this woman? As I said, I don't think she even liked her that much because she said to herself that Fallon was never her friend. She wasn't. And I believe that. So, Fallon, I guess, was just a tool. Porsha Williams, singer, I heard a sample of her singing. The woman who was in R. Kelly's house, trapped in a bedroom couldn't leave. That's what she says. Activist? Okay. Whatever. As in the words of Kenya Moore, and I'll probably do a video on Kenya. She can't understand how unbelievably dumb she is. Nah, is Porsha Williams dumb? No, I think she's cunning, manipulative, and from what I'm seeing, a narcissist. Even when, as again, going back to that Porsha Family Matters or Family Values, I couldn't Matters thing, reality show she did. She had to control everything. You know, if she doesn't like, if you don't do what she likes, then she, well, I guess, cuts you off. And let's not talk about her so-called friend Shamia. I have to say so-called because she's not even happy for this woman. More likely, she's seething with the green eye. She has the green eye monster. Most likely has taken over, and most likely does not even want to be friends with this woman anymore. So yes, y'all, do you agree with my commentary, my stance on Porsha Williams being a gold digger? Please let me know, because right now, and I have to admit, this lawn work that they're doing outside is kind of getting on my nerves. I'm checking out on this. Yeah, there's no more for me to add. I just think it's sad someone like this is on the airwaves playing innocent, wanting us to believe that she was happy in love after stealing someone's husband, and think that no one's going to have any opinions on it. I know most of us can be overly opinionated, and I'm not trying to be that way. But yeah, what is your take? Do you agree or disagree with my commentary? You could just let me know. But with that, I want us all to be well, stay positive, but most importantly, folks, we all have to be safe out here. And with that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.